Red Apple Lipstick, Spice and Easy. There are a lot of wellness trends that are popular right now, designed to do everything from extend your life, improve your health, make you smarter, and keep you more active. But not all of them are recommended for older adults, particularly women of a certain age, as in postmenopausal or menopausal women. So in this video, I want to look at some of the more popular wellness trends to see if there are any precautions that we should exercise as older adults, or if the risks outweigh the benefits, or if we should just avoid them altogether. So if this sounds like something you'd be interested in, ideas that can help you live longer, smarter, and physically active, and more physically active, then give this video a thumbs up, because we're going to jump into it. Hi, I'm Cheryl. Welcome to Free Range Diva, and thank you so much for stopping by today. Now, I think all of the tips in this video are important and impactful, and I hope you'll watch to the end. But because I'm a little gremlin, I saved what I believe is the most important, the most dangerous trend for older adults for the end. So if you want to jump to that one, then I'll put up a timestamp so that you'll be able to find it. I am not a medical professional. I am more of a reporter or a researcher, someone who's interested in a lot of different things, and I want to, because I am curious about things, I want to pass the information that I get on to you. So it's important to know that before you make any decisions or make any changes to your routine or your diet, you'll want to check with your healthcare team and make sure that what you want to do is appropriate for you. I have linked a lot of my information sources, the articles and things like that below in the description. You can take a look at them down there, and that way that's just more information to help you decide what's right for you and what isn't. Okay? First trend, cold plunges. Cold plunges have become so popular, you read about them everywhere, and they do have benefits. Benefits that include improved recovery, particularly after exercising, improved muscle recovery, better mood, reduced inflammation, even a metabolism boost. However, do these claims hold up for older adults? With some caveats. When done safely, cold plunges can lower inflammation and improve circulation. Women, particularly postmenopausal women, can expect cold plunges to impact your hormones, estrogen and cortisol, and not necessarily in a more positive way. Women generally have a higher percentage of body fat over men, which can help to retain heat, but women can also feel cold more quickly than men, and more acutely, and take longer to warm up afterwards. Cold plunging can cause sudden changes in blood pressure, heart rate, and breathing. Most importantly, cold water plunging can activate something called the cold shock response. This response can cause your heart rate to spike and your blood vessels to constrict, which can raise your blood pressure in just a few seconds. So while this response preserves your core body temperature, it can also put a strain on your heart. So for people with high blood pressure, heart arrhythmias, heart disease, this could trigger complications for you like chest pain, even cardiac arrest. This rapid change in temperature and blood pressure can also disrupt the electrical signals to the heart, so you may experience an abnormal heart rhythm or arrhythmia. Temperatures in these pools should be between 50 and 60 degrees. However, there are some plunge pools that go down as low as 37 degrees. Now, this extreme cold can cause dizziness or confusion if you stay in it too long. And according to the American Lung Association, the initial gasp reflex in cold water can make breathing difficult. They say your breaths may become shallow and rapid, and for those with asthma and other lung conditions, your airways may constrict and narrow. Not a good thing. So be careful. If you fall into any of those categories that I mentioned, you may want to skip it altogether. This information scared me from wanting to try it. And I will say, I have done what's called, it's like a mini hot cold kind of therapy plunge, whatever you want to call it, where you walk in a shallow pool so that you're basically in water up to your ankles or mid calves. That's heated to say between 100 and 104 degrees. You walk around in that and then immediately step into another pool, shallow pool, that's 50 to 55 degrees. And you do this back and forth, spending no more than, say, 30 seconds in each one. That definitely made me feel more tingly and like I got some benefit out of it. But in terms of doing a full-on cold plunge, I'm going to pass. And briefly, as long as we're talking about cold plunge, we might as well talk about the opposite extreme, because a lot of spas and gyms encourage you to do a sauna and then do a cold plunge. So let's talk about saunas briefly. Because generally, as long as the temperatures are within a safe realm, and the recommended temperatures for saunas for seniors or older adults is around 150 degrees. And provided you don't stay too long, no more than say 5 or 10 minutes, particularly if you're just starting out, there is a benefit for seniors. It increases circulation, it can lower inflammation, give you pain relief as well as muscle relaxation, and cause you to sweat, which is a detox mechanism. However, the biggest, most important risk is sudden onset of dehydration. It can cause dizziness, elevated blood pressure, and arrhythmias. So talk to your doctor before trying either of these two trends. If you have a geriatric specialist, talk to them. I know it's not recommended if you have high blood pressure or heart disease, and you should be cautious because it can have a negative reaction to certain prescription drugs. So talk to your doctor, ease into it, spending no more than 5 to 10 minutes, and never, ever, ever more than 20. And make sure that you have had plenty of water before you get in, while you're in there, and after. And don't use a cold plunge afterwards. Not recommended for seniors at all. I'm going to put a couple of links to some articles that talk more about both of these trends, the saunas as well as cold plunges, so that you have a little bit more information and help you better decide if you want to either continue if you're already doing them or start. Next, we're going to talk about multiple vitamins, because taking multiple vitamins is actually now recommended for seniors. And there's a lot of reasons. You can have issues with the absorption of the nutrients that you get from your food, or nutrient gaps in your diet. So yes, they are saying that seniors should consider taking a multiple. Now, I do take a multiple. I take a food-based multiple that has no more than 100% of the recommended daily requirement for any of the nutrients in it. I don't take synthetic vitamins that have like say 1,000% of vitamin E or whatever in them. I use my multiple as an extension of my diet just to fill in any gaps that might occur. And I take a pill form. But some people may not be able to handle pills, or just may have decided to take one of the more popular, trendy liquid types of multiple vitamins, or gummy vitamins. These are very popular again. They're very trendy right now. But are they the best for seniors? I think the biggest issues with these type of supplements are the added sugars, the artificial flavors and colorings, and the fact that they're a lot more expensive than just your food-based pills. Although I will say that liquids can have a higher absorption rate, particularly if you take them with food. Gummies, however, are usually high in sugars and sugar alcohols like sorbitol, erythritol, which can cause stomach upset, constipation, diarrhea, those kind of things. Now, the American Heart Association recommends no more than 25 grams of sugar per day for women. For men, it's a little bit higher. And gummy vitamins typically have 2 to 8 grams of sugar. I also pulled up a popular women's multiple liquid that had 6 grams of added sugar. So yeah, this can quickly make a dent in your daily allotment, to say the least. And according to the Cleveland Clinic, in a 1-to-1 comparison, gummy vitamins actually have fewer vitamins and minerals than regular vitamins. So it's one thing to choose to have a sugary dessert, and it's another to get hidden sugars in something that is supposed to be healthy. That's where I have a problem with both of the liquids and the gummy type vitamins. But if there's a liquid vitamin that you really like, that you've been taking and it's doing good things for you, just check it to make sure that the added sugars are low, or that there's no added sugar at all. That would be ideal. All right, the last trend that I want to talk about is skipping breakfast. A lot of people intermittent fast. I do. I have for several years now, and I love it. But there's different ways of doing it, and one of those ways involves OMAD, or 1 meal a day. And in that method, you don't eat until, let's say, early afternoon, like say noon, and you eat 1 meal, and that is not necessarily the best for seniors, but definitely this trend of skipping breakfast is really not good. If you're someone who just can't eat in the morning, you don't have an appetite, or the idea of food makes you, whatever, and you would just put off your first meal until after noon, then I'm going to ask you to stick with me a little bit and reconsider, because skipping breakfast can have a lot. It's like one of the worst things outside of smoking that you can do if you want to shorten your life and have a negative impact on your health. So let's look at some of the downsides. These are some of the risks for skipping your breakfast if you're an older adult. Malnutrition and nutrient deficiency. Often you'll miss out on nutrients like calcium, fiber, and various vitamins that are found in typical breakfast meals. For me, protein would be an important one. And yes, I do eat breakfast every morning. I eat 3 meals a day, actually. Fatigue and low energy. Breakfast gives you the energy you need for the morning and prevents sluggishness, helping you to function better throughout the day. Skipping breakfast causes poor blood sugar control. The dips and the spikes as your blood sugar goes up and down, we don't want that. You want your blood sugar to maintain a very steady level throughout the day. Skipping breakfast increases your risk for chronic diseases. Regularly skipping breakfast is linked to higher rates of obesity, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, cardiovascular disease, including a higher risk of stroke. And finally, skipping breakfast also has a negative impact on your cognitive health. That's a big one. There's some studies that suggest that skipping breakfast increases your risk of long-term cognitive decline and a general decline in cognitive function overall. Many of these risks apply to all groups, but they are profoundly increased in the senior and older adult population. I'm linking a study below from Michigan State University Hospital System. They're talking about how skipping your breakfast negatively impacts your brain. Basically, your brain and your vital organs rely on glucose as their primary source of fuel. And so in order to continue to supply those organs with the standard fuel of glucose that they need, you've got to put food in your body. You've got to eat. Because blood sugar is supported by what you eat, eating regularly and eating a balanced diet helps to give your brain and your other organs what they need to function at their best. This study, although it doesn't get into the whys, they're kind of making just a general assumption. They did find a significant connection between skipping breakfast and dementia. So breakfast is important not only for the nutrient intake, energy, metabolism, cognitive function, disease prevention, and your mental health because it helps you to establish a consistent routine. There is a study that was done by Harvard Medical School where they found that skipping breakfast may lead to obesity, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and diabetes, which can lead to a heart attack over time. And that study, the study group was composed mostly of white men, but they feel like the results are very likely to apply to women and other ethnic groups. So what if you are one of these people that wake up in the morning and you just can't get food down? You're not hungry, the idea of eating nauseates you, and you just can't do it. There are ways that you can ease into eating in the morning. For example, first off, what time is your last meal at night? You're going to want to make that meal earlier. If you're eating late in the evening, which is the worst time to be eating because you don't need energy and fuel, you're going to go to sleep. You're probably going to wake up in the morning feeling pretty awful because your body was not designed to be digesting food overnight. So eat earlier, eat your last meal earlier in the day. And if you have to have a snack at bedtime, then make it a small snack that's high in protein, particularly something like cottage cheese, for example, or a little bit of turkey. Something that's not going to fill you up. It's just a little snack that will actually help to increase the melatonin in your body and therefore give you a better night's sleep. Also, it can be helpful to start your morning with just a small meal. Nothing big, nothing heavy, something small, light, something that has protein and antioxidants in it, like a little yogurt and berries, or one egg and, I don't know, spinach or something, a small salad. Just something light, just to have something in your stomach to get your body used to doing what it naturally would do on its own if your body was controlling you instead of you controlling your body. And of course, talk it over with your doctor because there might be some underlying thing going on that you don't know about that's causing you to not want to eat in the morning. I want to close with a few thoughts from an article that was published at the Mayo Clinic's site. The article is called Why Skipping Breakfast Can Be Bad for Your Heart. But they talk about how not eating in the morning puts the body in a high adrenaline state, which can increase your risk for a heart attack. And indeed, they're learning that many heart attacks do happen in the morning. Part of it, they say, is the high adrenaline state that occurs early in the morning. If you match that with no food, no calories at all, what happens is that the body says, well, with no food, I could die of starvation. So I have to do some extra things. And those extra things are basically crunching down on your adrenal glands in order to force out more adrenaline to keep you going. So you're getting an adrenaline rush, which stresses your heart muscle. And they do say people who skip breakfast, many times they're able to do that because they have a pretty large dinner. So you're feeding your body with calories at a time when your body is just about to go to sleep, when you need those calories the least. So, don't skip your breakfast. Don't do it. Talk to me more in the comments if you do feel that way, and share your thought and share your feelings about why you can't eat in the morning. Maybe there's some things that you hadn't thought of that are triggering that feeling that maybe once corrected, you can start to enjoy 3 meals a day and fuel your body the way that it was meant to be fueled. So if you have any thoughts on this video, I'd really appreciate it if you put those in the comments. Share it with me and with all of us so we can all learn. I noticed that you're all starting to talk to each other, which is a really good thing. YouTube loves when you comment, so even if you put a heart if you like this video, that would be really appreciated. And of course, anything that you want to say to me, I appreciate, and YouTube appreciates it too, and they then appreciate me more, which is good. If you enjoyed the video, then give it a thumbs up, okay? And if you want to see more from me and you haven't subscribed yet, then please consider subscribing. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing here at Free Range Diva. Okay, everybody, I'm going to leave you there. Thank you again so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And until I see you in my next video, I'm just going to wish you a wonderful day, wonderful week. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you again very, very soon. Bye.